Hey gang, I'm back with another video for you today, and I've got a new guest here. It's Gigi from ZGO Perfumery.
Hey everyone, it's so nice to meet you and be here with you, Sebastian, today.
Thank you for coming by.
Of course.
So we're going to talk about fragrances that transport us on a vacation or to a vacation destination. It is still summer, and we've got people on vacation, right? Have you taken a vacation yet?
Oh yes, I was vacationing a little bit before summer, but I just moved. But I've been dreaming of vacations, definitely through these fragrances for sure.
Yeah. These are some fun fragrances. You're going to find out what they are coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian, and this is Gigi.
Hey everyone.
So we've got some amazing fragrances here we're going to talk to you about. And the way we're going to do this is I'm going to tell you what the fragrance does for me, like where it takes me, which destination. It doesn't even have to be a destination. It could be a restaurant or something, or a hotel. But and then Gigi will do the same thing, what she gets from the fragrance as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. But before we do, the fragrances are all available over at ZGO Perfumery. And that's where Gigi works. So you can go say hi to her and tell her that you saw her on my video.
Yeah, everyone come on by.
So the first fragrance we're going to talk about is a latest fragrance from the house of Atelier d'Azur. It's called Blue Madeleine. Are you guys familiar with this one? Don't you just love these bottles?
I love them so much. I feel so special when I spray and a little bit of gold comes out.
Yeah, exactly. But this fragrance doesn't transport me to a island destination. To me, it takes me to London having afternoon tea. So Blue Madeleine has notes of black tea, sandalwood, pralines, cinnamon, milky notes, cade, peru balsam, bergamot, pink pepper, and rose. So mostly it's a tea fragrance, but very creamy, gourmandesque, spicy, and of course milky as well. But I've done a couple of afternoon teas, and not couple, several actually. I really enjoy the whole process myself. And I'm a tea drinker, and afternoon tea is one of my favorite times to have tea. Yeah. So that's the setting this puts me in.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on having an afternoon tea, a high tea. When I first smelled this fragrance, I instantly fell in love with it. It's this sort of citrusy gourmand, that black tea, those milky notes like you said. I'm transported to maybe a French countryside, sipping tea with like a Madeleine, which I think was kind of the source for the inspiration.
Yeah,
behind
Madeleine.
the fragrance. So very much a French countryside, a different type of vacation, but definitely one that I would like to experience too.
Yeah, this is really beautiful though. Definitely a great fragrance from this house. Tea
Yes.
focused. And tea focused fragrances, or tea fragrances in general, to me are very cozy and relaxing.
Yes, and you know what? I've noticed that actually tea has been really popular this summer, especially at the store. It's kind of a new way to do fresh for summer.
Okay.
I just love how they blend it with kind of some sweeter notes here too. It's
Totally.
really beautiful.
Yeah, so this is Blue Madeleine from the house of Atelier d'Azur, and we have the second fragrance in the series. There's these fragrances launched as a duo. This is Villa Primrose. Is it Primrose or Primrose?
I was saying Primrose via Primrose.
It's spelled Primrose, yeah. So this is inspired by the new villa that Atelier d'Azur has acquired or purchased. I believe they do tours there. I don't know what the deal is with the actual villa, but it's in the south of France if you go. But this fragrance features notes of musk, Centifolia rose, Ambrette, amber woods, leather, iris, pear, pink pepper, and cardamom. And even though this fragrance is inspired by Grasse, where perfume capital is, and the whole Centifolia rose farming and cultivating and things like that, and it used to be a capital of leather, so that's where they had the leather tannery. So that's what the fragrance, to me, it transports me to the Middle East for some strange reason.
Oh, okay.
Leather and rose is very popular in the Middle East, and the fact that it has the leather, and there's a little bit of an oudiness in here, and that's what I get from this one.
Totally. And I think that pink pepper and that cardamom also add to that spice. That's a really cool take. I wasn't initially taken to the Middle East when I first smelled it, but I can totally see that. Where I was taken, so I actually have some family out in Paris, and typically when we go visit them, we kind of go around May or June, so that's springtime to summer transition. And I've just thought of those warm days, walking down the Champs-Élysées, flowers are in bloom, and maybe I'm going to do a little bit of shopping, and that's kind of that element of vacation that I think of when I smell this one. It's really pretty, gorgeous on skin.
Yeah, it's totally nice. It's actually, it smells a bit familiar. Between the two, I like the Blue Madeleine a little more than the Villa Primrose. And also do want to say, I think these fragrances are meant to be layered, which I haven't done yet.
Yes, yeah.
Because they're a duo, just like Pink Me Up and Noir by Night launched several years ago.
Yeah, well, they both play with that, the pink pepper in a couple different ways. So I think that makes a lot of sense that they kind of come in that duo nature. Yeah.
They do layer. So the next fragrance we're going to talk about is Clive Christian's Crab Apple Blossom. This one right here.
Yum.
So this one, actually, I'm starting to like the fragrances of Clive Christian, especially Musk Cashmere or Cashmere Musk that they just launched with. Cashmere Musk.
Oh, yes, that's a great one.
And this time they're going into a marine direction, but it's not an overdosed marine experience. It features apple blossom, marine bergamot, green rhubarb, mint, sugar accord, sandalwood, driftwood. Now this puts me on a warm spring day picnic near the coast. I don't know why I get that, but perhaps in an apple grove and, in the springtime, the apple blossoms are just blossoming, so you've got the essence of the apple blossoms. You've got some citrus in here, but you have a sea breeze coming in and all the other notes to kind of accentuate and make this fragrance kind of marine, but floral, citrusy, fruity.
Yeah. That's such a beautiful setting. And I see that as well. I think where I was transported, and also I've worn this one too, and it has excellent sillage and longevity in the heat. I will say we do.
Like that.
We do. This one lasts all day. It's so beautiful. I think where the place that I was transported was kind of like similar to how we were talking about the countryside with Atelier des Eaux, but more in the English countryside. Maybe kind of one of those rugged English beaches in the summertime. Maybe kind of a country club vibe by the pool. Just really that aquatic feel mixed with those apple blossoms just bring this freshness to it. It's just so beautiful. I love this one. Yeah.
Do you enjoy Clive Christian fragrances?
I do. I have a number of favorites from the line. I love Blonde Amber. Rock Rose is definitely one of my favorites as well.
What do you think of the Cashmere Musk?
Oh, that's a great everyday wear. When I first smelled that at the store when we got it in a little sample vial, I was like, this is like...
It's super sexy.
It is. It's a great clean girl, clean guy, everyday sexy wear, amplifies your natural smell. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, there's a discount code for all these fragrances. If you're in the market for any of them, I have it linked in the info box. Okay, so the next fragrance we're talking about is ELECTIMUSS London's TRAJAN or TRAJAN. So this is saffron, blood orange, ambergris, mandarin orange, lavender, sage, oak moss, cedar, lemons, and bergamot. So this fragrance actually transports me to the Middle East, but having it's all dry and desert because the fragrance was very dry for me.
Yeah.
But you come to a mirage and there's the citrus grove. And so you've got not only lemons growing, oranges growing, mandarin orange, lime, everything. It's basically a cornucopia of citruses. It's quite juicy that way, but the remainder of the fragrance is quite dry, but it's also super, super sexy. It does remind me a little bit of Baccarat Rouge.
Oh, yes.
Because it's got that kind of a DNA in here. It does have ambroxan.
Yes.
But it's so juicified with all the citruses in here.
Yeah, that's a great take on it. And actually, I was transported to a very specific vacation of mine. I traveled to Istanbul last year, and one day I walked the whole city, all around, Beyoğlu, all the way to the Grand Bazaar, and, the mixture of that saffron and all of those citrus just really encapsulate kind of a whole day, exploring those spaces in the Middle East. And another vacation that I thought of was nights in Spain, actually, interestingly enough, kind of after siesta.
Okay.
I see what you mean by that kind of ambery. There's an essence of sweetness, I think, that comes from those citrus notes as well that are similar to Baccarat, but it is different enough that it's a new way to explore the fragrance. I love this one for sure.
It's good, yeah. It's definitely one of the best from this house.
Yeah.
And I do like the Baccarat Rouge DNA. And mixing it with the citruses, I feel like it's a different take on that DNA that we're familiar with and smell everywhere. Anyway, this is TRAJAN from the house of ELECTIMUSS London. Next, we have a fragrance from the house of DUSITA, Parfums DUSITA. It's the latest fragrance, Pelagos, which was recently featured in Scent Club Mystery Box number 3. By the way, we're dropping another Scent Club kit soon. Stay tuned for that. So this one features notes of bergamot, Litsea, Cubeba, sea breeze accord, orris butter, white thyme, tonka beans, leather, sandalwood, and patchouli. Now, this is an interesting fragrance for me. It's inspired by a Greek island, but I'm actually transported to a ferry trip ride from Greece all the way down to North Africa.
Wow.
I don't know why I get that.
That's
but
adventurous.
yeah, so along the way, you've got spices and citruses, and you know, you're getting all these smells, including the sea breeze, and then you finally get to North Africa. You've got the leather and things like that all mixed in together, the spices and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
To me, it reminds me of one of the other DUSITA fragrances, but I really like this one. It's a bit sweaty and musky too, and it makes it very sexy.
Yeah, absolutely. I really resonate with that. And this is one of the fragrances that we're talking about today. I think I was telling you that just bring out that sense of adventure in me. I know, like, when I like to vacation, I like to do kind of a mix of, like, lying on the beach, but also, like, exploring rainforests, doing some more active things like ziplining. And this is definitely one kind of with that sea breeze accord, along with the sandalwood, sort of rounded out with the leather and getting a little musky, that just remind me of a day of adventure, I think, on a vacation. I love this one for sure.
Yeah, it's a good one, actually. This is probably one of the more masculine ones from DUSITA. Check it out. It's Pelagos. And if you got the mystery box number 3, what did you think about it? Because I know those of you that ended up with the kit, you probably had some kind of a reaction to that fragrance. But moving on to the House of Goldfield and Banks, it's Sunset Hour. This one right here. So this is Desert Peach, Quandong or Desert Peach, Raspberry, Jasmine, Sambac, Ginger, Pink Pepper, Sandalwood, Cashmere Wood, Benzoin. And for me, I always get the same thing, and I've mentioned it in videos before. This to me is kind of like a fizzy cocktail, more like a champagne cocktail. So it's got that sparkle and effervescence, and you're in this very luxurious high-end hotel at the hotel bar. Ordered a drink, you're sipping on it, and it's very breezy because the fragrance acts very breezy to me. It's not quite very hot outside, or maybe it was yesterday and it finally changed weather today. It became cooler, and it's still warm and cool at the same time, and you've got these drapes blowing and the wind at the bar in the hotel. That's what it reminds me of.
You know, that hotel bar must be on the white sandy beaches where I imagine myself when smelling Sunset Hour, because I totally understand that. And, you know, I also felt the same thing. First, a fruity, fizzy cocktail, white sandy beaches, red bikini at sunset. That's really, it's like the essence of summer that I feel. And this is one of the first niche fragrances that I ever actually smelled and bought.
Really?
So, yes.
So it has a lot of meaning for you.
It really does. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm taken back. So
cool.
Yeah.
So Sunset Hour. And then we also have another fragrance from the House of Goldfield and Banks. It's Bohemian Lime. And let me tell you what this does for me. It's Australian finger lime, coriander, Haitian vetiver, cedarwood, and sandalwood. This one doesn't really take me on this luxurious vacation. It takes me to some really big metropolis city. And it's extremely hot, humid, and you're worked up a thirst, and you don't want just water. You want something like a cocktail. So you order, you go into this bar in a high-end, hotel or some kind of a high-end bar, and you order a Moscow Mule. Because this, to me, smells like the actual cocktail Moscow Mule. Because, you know, it doesn't mention there's ginger in here. I get a ginger zing from it. It's very citrusy. Maybe it's the way the finger lime is mixed with the coriander, because there's a spice and a zing from it. But it's a super delicious citrus. It's very cold, but against hot.
And it's interesting that you bring up bringing it to a city, because though that's not what I had initially envisioned, this would be a perfect fragrance to bring to like a New York City trip in the summer when it's sweltering hot. Like just throw it in your pocket, spritz on when you're just you need that refresh along with going to get your cold drink.
That's exactly it.
I love that. You know, where I was taken at first, I think I mentioned earlier that Pelagos from DUSITA was one of those fragrances that brought out a sense of adventure. This was the second one in the collection we're talking about. I think it's that zest from the lime that instantly uplifts me, and you know, maybe I'm feeling a little sleepy or jet lagged, but then I just get ready to go and explore. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty it's a beautiful fragrance, and it goes from that zestiness to that woods with the cedar and the sandalwood, with the vetiver, a little bit earthy. I mean, it just really makes me feel close to nature as well. So I love this one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Definitely one of the best from this house. It's Bohemian Lime. And then we're going to the House of the Harmonist. This is Sun Force. Are you guys familiar with this one? So this is saffron, Bulgarian rose, cardamom, benzoin, sandalwood, musk, honey, pomelo, incense. Boy, when I smell this fragrance, I instantly get lavender and also something very cozy and relaxing. It puts me into a spa. Like I'm ready to get a massage. They're using some kind of a lavender-focused oil, and there's a little scent in the air of lavender or whatever kind of these kind of spa treatment essences are everywhere.
Yes.
It's a cozy fragrance, and even though there's no mention of lavender, there's cardamom, but somehow it's acting like lavender, and lavender is very cozy, soothing, comforting for me.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head with that spa element. I think both of the Harmonist fragrances we're talking about today have that aspect of a vacation, which I know I love on a vacation too, is getting that wellness treatment. The interesting thing about Sunforce for me was that it's spicy sweet, but it's also clean, which I think is kind of hard to do.
It's clean in a weird, it's like almost like soapy.
I know,
but there's all these warm resins.
I wouldn't have gotten that from the notes, but what I instantly thought just upon first sniff was also not only of that kind of spa element, but like you've just showered after a long day, at the beach, and you're ready to go to also like a tranquil dinner. So it's a state of meditation, but it's also that kind of that tranquil moment in between, like getting ready for that dinner and ending a long day out on vacation. So it's a beautiful fragrance.
Yeah.
I love this one. Yeah.
This one's nice. So this is Sunforce from the house of the Harmonist, and the second fragrance from the Harmonist is called Yin Transformation. And I've spoken about this one for a long time. In fact, I actually shot a video in the Harmonist store in LA, which is no longer, if you care to watch and find out more about the fragrances of the Harmonist. So this is White Musk, Calypso Orchid, Bulgarian Rose, Ylang Ylang, Almond Milk, Iris, Sandalwood, Benzoin, Mandarin Orange. This to me puts me, I guess I'm going back to England or northern France. There's a stream or a river in the springtime, because it's a very watery fragrance. So I smell the river or the stream along with nature. So it's not necessarily a very, it's a strong fragrance, but it's not like notes jump out at you. It just wears like water with maybe flowers that have been sitting in water, because you have the essences come in.
Yes.
But it's not super strong in the way the essences work or the notes work.
Absolutely. And I think that, some key notes there for me, the white musk, the almond milk, and the iris make it kind of creamy essence-y. Yeah. And it's just like a hug on the skin, One vision that I think of are both cherry blossoms that I've experienced in springtime to summer in DC, where I spent some time, also Japan.
I can see the it doesn't smell like the cherry blossoms, but I could see that.
That's what I didn't smell them, but I saw them. And so this is just a really pretty fragrance.
It's very clean and also a perfect summer scent. Yes. It's really, really wonderful in the summertime. So Yin Transformation from the Harmonist. Then we have a fragrance from the House of Oud called Keep Glazed. This one right here. So I just did a video on mango fragrances for International Mango Day, and now we're featuring it here again. And this is featuring notes of mangoes, chantilly cream, strawberry leaves, frozen lemons, coconut râpé, ginger crumble, fruity musk, precious woods. Really delicious, really, really delicious fruity gourmand for me. And to me, it puts me in a very high-end restaurant that has the most decadent desserts. And it's a very expensive dessert with all kinds of, creaminess and fruitiness, and even things that feature things like lemons and things like that. So basically you're eating this really, really delicious, super expensive, decadent dessert. And you've got this like chopped up mangoes in it, or chopped mangoes mixed in with it. Yummy fragrance.
Definitely. And you know what? I typically am a gourmand girly too. So to have like a real summer gourmand that performs well in the heat, I think it's because of that Chantilly cream alongside those fruits, the strawberry and mango. It's just decadent and delicious. I love this one. This is just amazing.
It's a really good one from this house. And this house does really good gourmands, by the way. So the next fragrance we're talking about is from the house of BDK. It's Citrus Riviera, this one right here. So this is featuring lemons, mandarin, neroli, orange blossom, eucalyptus, vetiver, white musk, patchouli, tonka, figs, jasmine, immortelle, and strawberries. Basically, to me, this is a citrus grove in the Riviera. Yeah. Basically, that's what it is. You're walking through, it's hot. You can really smell the citruses, baking under the sun. And perhaps there's some blossoms there as well. And the leaves all mixed in together. Maybe there's some fig trees nearby, some jasmine plants nearby, and a strawberry grove around the corner.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's a really great take on a traditional eau de cologne style fragrance with citruses and citrus floral notes.
Yes.
Really great fragrance. For me, that's what it transports me to.
I think this one is foreshadowing a future trip to the Amalfi Coast, and I think that's because I've been really wanting to go there. Those lemons, it's just absolutely beautiful, and all those citruses at the top, like you described, are so well rounded by the florals in the middle and the heart, and then they dry down to that tonka, that fig, that musk. It's beautiful. I love this one. Mediterranean vacation in a bottle.
Totally, yeah. It's also very, very juicy with the citruses. And I really love my juicy fragrances. So that's Citrus Riviera from BDK. And last but not least, we're talking about another BDK fragrance. It's called Villa Neroli.
Love this one.
This is quite yummy. This one actually transports me to a villa in the south of Italy, or southern Italy, I should say, near the citrus groves. But you have just picked a bunch of citruses. You've brought them home, and you're having some kind of a sweet treat and smelling the citruses. But this features notes of neroli, orange blossom, petitgrain, lemons, vanilla, vetiver, labdanum, patchouli, and rose. And to me also, it lightly hints at Love Don't Be Shy. I think it's the vanilla in the base that kind of starts reminding me of it. It's not sugary marshmallowy,
right,
but it has that kind of light reminder in it.
I can definitely see that. You know, this is one that I'm almost done with my bottle. This is a fragrance that I wear when I just want to feel like I've emerged from the ocean, all tan and glowing, a little bit salty, remnants of sunscreen. This one is beautiful. And you know what's interesting is, you know, this is remnant of the Mediterranean, but it's kind of no matter what beach I'm going to. Maybe it's a beach in Santa Barbara, or maybe it's a beach on the East Coast. It's just that feeling of, you know, freshly getting out of the ocean.
Interesting.
There's something sweet, kind of the essence of your skin, maybe a little salty, I'm not sure, maybe I'm just imagining that, but it's so beautiful. I love this one.
It's a good one. Maybe you get the salt from the vetiver.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that for sure.
Anyway, Villa Neroli is the last fragrance for you guys, the fragrances that transport us to a vacation or a vacation destination. Let us know what you think about these fragrances, and if you're interested in getting any of them, there is a discount code, as I said, in the info box, and I have links to each of the fragrances. So thanks so much for coming by to do this video.
Pleasure. Yeah, this was so much fun.
If you guys have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.